Okay, guys, welcome back to Trader Zearth weekly updates. As usual, before we start, let's take a look at the upcoming news. And it seems that we have a pretty busy week this week. Of course, not like last week. Last week we had a lot more news, but this week the good thing is that we have a holiday on Monday. So there's not much news on Monday. We're not expecting the market to swing highly up. Maybe there'll be some, small retracement, and the serious business comes in on Tuesday onwards. So I expect the UK market is going to be very volatile. I expect the US market is going to be very volatile, and well, pretty much everything is going to be volatile due to the trade news, right? So before wasting time, let's go to the charts. So on a weekly basis, UK closed pretty bullish last week. Same goes for Hong Kong. I think I mentioned for a few weeks that Hong Kong to me it's pretty bullish. So you see this area it held, and right now it has retested the previous resistance. So if you have entered the market, last week, if you had a long, it's okay to take partial profit because the market may swing back down before going higher, right? Unless the trade deal is signed, I do not expect things to go smoothly in these few weeks. Australia looks pretty bullish too. The S&P looks quite bullish. Dow Jones looks bullish. Same goes for Nasdaq, right? So I'm only going to talk about UK, Hong Kong, Australia, and S&P for the daily market updates, right? So let's take a look at UK. So what happened was last week the market struggled for direction. Like pretty much this the past 5 candles is still pretty sideways. So you can't really trade, swing trading if you are going for a short, right? If you had a long, then you'll always hit your entry point. If you set your entry as your stop loss to protect your capital, you probably have missed good entries, right? But generally, in a general market direction, what we can see is that this market is pretty bullish, right? As long as we're seeing the slope going up, as long as we're seeing the price, the low going up, it's still pretty much bullish. And this area down to 30 remains to be a pretty decent resistance. So unless we break above, right, there is still some slight possibility of the market coming down. But if the price were to come back down to 7180, 7160, these areas, if you're looking for a long, you can go for a long. You will cut loss if the price goes below this sloping support line. For Hong Kong, just like I mentioned in the weekly update, we may see the market going up a little bit higher, maybe to 27,000. So if there's a rejection here, you can short all the way back to the 26100 areas. But however, if it continues going up, then this is the next area that I'll be looking at. You can go for long, you can go for short, depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a long-term trade, then going for long in the indices would make more sense. Of course, due to the geopolitical tensions, I would say that instead of blindly longing the market, just be cautiously bullish because we don't know when Donald Trump decides to change his mind over the trade war issue, right? So let's talk about Australia. So Australia, I think last week I mentioned that if you're looking for potential short, then this is the area that we should be looking at. So now that we have reached this blue color area that we should be looking at, I think the market will go a little bit sideways before continuing with the bullish movement, right? So right here, the market can go two ways. We can see a pin bar here and the market continue going down further. Of course, for the market to go down, it must be backed by news. So I personally expect this trade war thing to not go well. So that is my scenario. So for me, if there is a pin bar, a reversal pin bar, I'm going to short it all the way to 6,400. However, if the price were to go up and continues to show some strength, then I will look for a long to the 600 areas, right? So this is going to be a bit complicated because one part of me favors the bear and the other part of me favors the bull, right? So for this kind of situations, I'll just be a little bit more patient. I'll wait for the news to tell me what to do, right? We have the news coming up pretty soon. It's going to be next week, October 15. They have to sign a deal. If they don't sign a deal, then Donald Trump is going to get crazy and impose some tariff. So that is what I'm betting on. Let's go to S&P. So S&P, I had a short last Friday. I entered a queue and it came to fetch me, right? So what I can say is the market is looking pretty bullish due to the hopes of this trade deal getting signed, due to the hopes of Federal Reserve reducing the interest rate, right? However, if you're talking about the market, if you're talking about the technical analysis, this area is a pretty decent resistance, right? So unless this area is broken up, unless the price stays above this area, I'm expecting market to pull back all the way down to 2880 areas. So of course, market can swing up and down without any news. It's just going sideways. That's pretty common. In order for the market to break new high, to break above this 3,000 limit and stay above it, we need the trade deal to be signed. We need a lot of companies to be showing good financial reports, right? And I do see that happening, right? So my shot is around the 2980 area. So if it goes above 3000, wants to pull back and retest, I'll just quit and change direction. However, if the market did not go up, and it goes back down, I'll ride it until 2880 at least, with 2800 as my target. So that's all I have for this week. And as usual, I hope that my market analysis has helped you guys in your trading, and I hope that you guys will benefit from my sharing. Just a shout out to those people who have followed my Hang Seng calls last week. Congratulations for making profit. Alright, thank you. Bye bye. I'll see you guys next week.